I have extra bottles. I have 7 bottles.
Don't.
All right, you. This is it. Something good gonna happen? It might. What do you mean? Well, it feels like everyone's made progress in their personal side stories, so I wonder if I can do the same.
I want a side story.
Well, you're doing it now. I'm just trying to keep up with everyone. Yep. Something I'd like you two to help me with. Urge. Back to Karnak. You're gonna upgrade your fishing skills. Sorry for the selfish request. Witnesses for what? Why are they in the same model animation?
It's just a little bit strange that it's in sync, but like it's not a unique animation.
It's not. It's just insane. It's hilarious.
Yeah, the being in sync part.
Because what happened the day Mother died. Probably smiled since then. Sad day. I deserve an explanation. I knew the moment would come that I had to tell you. Oh man. When all of us moved to the city, we were kept busy. Dad had a babysitter to watch you. One winter day, the snow had really piled up, causing a rash of illness and injuries. So I left the city on house calls that morning, not noticing that your mother was ill herself. And then eventually your mother was found collapsed and carried off to another dark clinic. As he saw me as a rival to his business, however. Once he found out who she was, he refused to treat your mother. Shortly after, she took a sudden turn for the worse. Passed. So why you won't refuse any patient? That's right. Any patient before me on a given day could be in a situation just like hers. No matter who they are, a patient could always have someone who cares about them waiting at home. When I think about that, it
Let's see, are we back?
should be good. That's wild. That just
Waiting,
randomly did.
waiting for it, waiting for it. Loading. We're still on a black screen. There we go. All right, we're back.
Gotta love it when Twitch just decides to delete. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know either, but hey, moving on.
All right. Yep. Wonderful sentiment. Don't you see the irony? I'm the one waiting for you, dummy.
Gosh.
Just be around a bit more. Don't argue. Time comes, I'll find my own happiness. Listing you and the Sand Trust on their conversation they find difficult. A coward. I don't want to hurt anyone or be hurt myself. But I felt bad that I had to summon my own courage for this. Thanks to you and Adel for being here and taken care of. Let's go.
Thank you, everyone. I always have all of you to lean on. Let's keep doing our best, side by side. Not just for each other, but for ourselves, too.
What's
Yes.
the recording bitrate?
Recording bitrate should be
1,000.
should be decently high. Maybe you set them both to the same.
I think what happened was because I loaded a different profile, it changed the settings, and because for some dumb reason it didn't change back.
Okay. Okay, hold up. Recording should be 10,000.
Recording NVENC H hybrid
NVENC,
or beta.
NVENC HEVC. NVENC HEVC. Recording format should be a hybrid MP4. Yeah. I don't
know
think
why.
I don't think it's
seems
out
like
of beta yet.
I think that's the only thing that changed.
That's weird.
Just a bit rate. That's weird. Oh well.
Oh well, indeed. Okay, cool.
Looks like it's solved. Anyway,
That might be everything. We can go now.
I'm free to play game now?
Oh nope,
Who cares about this guy?
because
Throw him overboard.
you reported the runestones.
Throw the
you're
throw
for
throw the blasphemous alchemist off the ship.
He's not an alchemist. He's a priest.
Looks like an alchemist, I know. I mentioned this a couple times. He looks like it looks like an FMA alchemist.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to snap his fingers.
He really does. Oh, he made us drink tea.
He
Get
did.
him out of here.
It's red tea.
Begone, foul fiend. We don't drink tea aboard here. Aboard the ship.
We don't? Oh.
Learned a lot from the runestones. Yep, we learned a lot. More convinced than ever, Gleans and Normans can indeed live together in harmony. We got proof it happened. Happen again. Because that's how society works and working together. If it has never happened before, that means it can never happen again. But if it has happened before, that means it can happen again.
Interesting.
Yep. One of those bootstrap
guess what?
paradox type things.
I guess what though?
Yep.
Well, continue.
What?
I said, well, continue.
I can feel his quiet resolve. The Pickard's one eye.
It's Adol's third eye, actually.
What's your deal? You're not a run-of-the-mill priest? You're an alchemist. Don't lie to me. Honor whose souls? Your teachers, friends. Oh, they all died. Time's right to tell you. You know, you could take his saying, what he said, into slightly different context. They were all beckoned to heaven that day. Yeah, so you killed them all, huh? Faction of Normans attacked the monastery where I'd been raised. The last person I had held dear was stolen away. That's awful. Alas, even in this day and age, it's still not uncommon to hear about Normans pillaging towns. However, in spite of that tragedy, I did not come to hate the Normans. I grew up alongside them. They were an irreplaceable part of my life. The people driven out of our homeland took refuge in monasteries. This explains why you know so much about them. Although our cultures may differ, we're still able to understand one another as fellow human beings. And human beings are also quite equal to death. I suppose I'm doing this all because I cannot reconcile myself. Want to believe those days were more than a fleeting illusion. Apologies. I forgot. I feel like I understand you better. Turns out the world really is made of all sorts. Sorry for always thinking about you were sketchy. He is sketchy, so that's fine. I came across a variety of local legends, each as delightfully quaint as. Just murder a fly. You just teleported halfway across the room to kill a fly.
No, he let it out the window.
Pitched by its wings. How did he even reach this level? This level is question mark, question mark, question mark.
3 question marks.
I know. That's crazy. He's secretly like an undercover sell alchemist. Nonsense.
There. Wait, a gladiator. Hold up. A gladiator while staying in his spawning.
So long as there are those like yourselves around.
Okay, let me see if that's a reference.
Let's keep our spirits high and press onward, shall we?
It's okay. I got it. Yeah.
From a gladiator while staying in a. All right. Yep. Gobstone.
Let's keep sailing. I see something over there.
No, you don't. See nothing. The hut.
And away we go.
And away we go.
Oh, okay. I don't think we know who this
Let's
is.
catch our breath.
I mean, I know I've forgotten a lot, but like, we've
No, it's
not
okay.
been to Espani yet.
No, we haven't been to Espani, but there is one particular
Switch.
notable gladiator that we had in
I bet we can catch something here.
a previous game.
Yeah.
Not in our party or anything, but anyway, it wasn't her.
Let's make tracks. Let's make tracks.
This is really cool.
This is pretty cool. Climb the tree.
So fast. Let's tackle it together. Climb up.
Yeah, you're gonna actually have to fight that.
Yeah, so as you probably noticed, I was playing Heroes of Hammerwatch 2.
Yeah, that's what you mentioned.
Yeah, I've been playing it kind of off and on with a couple of my old friends. We had this weird, so there have been some like weird little janky issues with like the
Didn't expect
network
this
connection,
here.
like online stuff. Like my one friend still can't host a game. Like, I guess he's just banned from hosting a game. He could join either of ours, but we can't join his. It's really weird. But besides that,
Hone in.
I like disconnected at like the final boss fight. So like that sucks. But
Nice work, Adel.
we had this weird thing happen where when I joined the next game, it kept all of my like trinkets I picked up in that last run.
Oh, well, fun.
So I was like super stacked with all the gear, and I was picking up more because it basically started like I joined at the very beginning of the run. So I had like double the gear by the time we got to the end of the last boss fight. And I just wrecked the boss, which was hilarious because it was New Game Plus 1 boss. And I just straight up wrecked him. But we won that. But when I finished that, unfortunately, it only counts finishing the boss as a finishing your character's latest highest level.
Yeah.
So instead of getting New Game Plus 2, I got only New Game Plus 1. Which is a shame. But it was kind of funny that my run was bugged and I had like double the amount of stuff. It was hilarious because I rolled everything. I got like an insane amount of rewards for finishing it. Did I miss anything?
Sort of.
Or, I mean,
That's probably higher up. It's okay.
Hey.
You'll get there.
Mana. I
This one
think
here.
there's something around here. Didn't expect this here.
yes, Shush Adel, I was already opening it.
Go time.
Yeah, but he didn't expect that here.
Crazy. But yeah, Hammerwatch has been fun.
That is good. That one is above you again. Yeah.
That's
You
where
gotta
it
drop
was.
down, cross back over. Yeah.
Oh. Did you see that the news story I sent to you?
News
Nice
story. Oh yeah, I
breeze.
did.
That's weird, right? Do you know anything about it, or have you seen it elsewhere?
Well, I
The
mean,
Final Fantasy one.
oh, the Final Fantasy one. No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, so
Sorry, I saw the one you sent before that. The
so
video.
like, oh, the Steam OS one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let me see.
Take the lead.
Let's do it!
Fire in the hole.
Okay.
yeah, it's really frustrating. But at least it sounds like they're actually going to do something about it. Yes. I mean, I know about it, so if you don't want to like read the article,
No, it's okay. It's not that long. I'm already halfway done.
Look, there's a treasure chest.
lightning boots. Man,
A rare find.
I'll have these for next time I play Terraria.
Let's make tracks.
So people somehow got access to account IDs, and we're using that to essentially stalk people.
Kinda, yeah. Basically, there was a mod that you could get that would like find the character's like base count ID, and
Yeah.
it would they would just database it. And so when you found,
That was interesting.
yeah, so basically you would just see a character, and it would just be like, ah, this is X count ID, and then it would be like, ah, add this character to X count ID. And so you could just look it up, who owned what character, and by doing that,
Yeah.
you could like follow them around and like track what they're doing.
Right.
And the initial response, which took a while to get from Square or the development team, was, please don't. We're gonna ask that the modders stop making this mod. And it's like, the mod's made. It's open source. Like, it's out there now. Can't stop it. It's already too
Well,
late.
you can ask them. You can ask them to stop
Didn't
developing it.
expect this here.
Well, I mean, it's already been made. The fact that you
Right.
can do it at all is now known. It's open source. Someone's going to make a new version of it if you're going to just stop it. That's like the problem is now that we know it's possible to abuse whatever back-end information that they got access to. It's some crazy person's just going to do it regardless of what, you know. Because if you're going to stalk someone in a video game, you're going to find the means to do it, regardless of
Right.
if the actual main way to do it is now no longer
Yeah.
available.
Yeah. So anyway, they've gone from asking nicely to actually saying they're going to implement real changes.
Yeah, because all
To
they really
close
would
that.
need to do is
Is
verify
close
in the back end, and then just either not have the ID accessible,
Yeah.
or give like
They
a
basically just-
secondary spoof ID.
Well, that
Like-
doesn't. No, I think they'll just close wherever in their
Vulnerability.
API the account name gets exposed,
Yeah,
so you can't use it anymore.
yeah, because I figured you could like verify the account and then give the individual character. I guess it would depend on how the actual mod worked.
Yeah.
Because if you just gave a character like just a randomly generated string as their ID for that session,
A rare
after
find.
verifying like what it is in the backend servers, you
Yeah.
could probably just ignore it. Like it might be one of the easier ways to solve it.
Or just again not expose that.
Yeah, just don't expose
the
it.
API.
I mean, that's always the best option. Am I going the right way?
You went back to a previous area. You need to go back up.
Up again. Okay, so that means go up here and then take the grapple.
Here goes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you fell down to go open a chest that was already open. So. Check the map. You are missing. Okay, there's a few things. It gets higher up the more to the center it is. So there's
Right.
3 things you haven't encountered yet, 4 things you haven't encountered yet, and 1 chest that you have already passed up and need to go find. There it
So
is.
This is one I
Wait,
had to go drop down.
That one
for.
was back down. Wait a
So,
minute. That
I-
one was
I
back
could-
down, but there's another one on the right side. Wait, why not just open it? It's not open yet.
Here, I was trying to path it in my head.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's going forward. You're going forward.
This was an alternate path.
That
back
was an
there.
early one, and
This is current.
That's progress. That's progress right there. Yeah.
I'll grab this.
You might as well grab it. But yeah, we gotta get to the other side of the tree.
Rare find.
Yeah.
So fast.
But I mean,
So fast.
the whole Final Fantasy situation right now, Final Fantasy 14,
Nice
apparently is
breeze.
just not great because it seems like Yoshi P, the main game director of Final Fantasy 14, has been like managing other projects by Square,
Yeah.
and he's just not as active in 14 right now. And they had a massive content lull because essentially the story had like an apex in the second most recent update.
Yeah.
Endwalker?
Yeah. I'm actually somewhat familiar with this, just because of Richard talking about it. They had their like culmination of a decade-long story at the same time that Guild Wars had their culmination of a decade-long story.
Yeah,
That was fun.
so they had a culmination of a decade-long story, and now that they've started the next arc with Dawn Trail, people are like, either they didn't like Dawn Trail, or it just wasn't enough for them, or whatever reason that they dislike it, right? It's no longer like this massive, like, oh man, what's the next story? Like, what's going on next? And so people are falling off of the game more than they had been in previously, and they're upset with it. And then they're upset with the way Square is doing stuff. Like, do you know anything about the housing situation? 14?
Nope. Oh wait, yeah. It's like there's like an auction for housing space, right?
Yeah. So
My goodness.
digital
Imagine.
online game, right?
No, what even WoW was like, yeah, you see that Guild Wars thing over there? We're just gonna do that.
Yeah. WoW just decided to dunk on 14 real quick. Because they just released the housing information. They're like, everyone can get their own. Period.
Yeah. Just instance the housing. It's that easy.
Yeah, or honestly, 14 could just make more instant, like, world server things they do.
You don't
They
need
just
to go for
don't.
that. You just go up.
Yeah.
That's not up.
This,
I think you got everything on this map, so you should be good, except for the last
There
thing,
it is.
which you got.
which is like behind this, I think.
It's behind it, yeah.
Yeah, of course it's behind it.
This pillar. It seems to be controlling the vast measures of mana that permeate this isle.
What for, though?
To open the entrance, presumably. As well as to ensure that whatever occurs within will exert no influence on the world without.
Entrance? Where? All I'm seeing is a dead end.
Into the light, adults. So there's a bit more nuance to the housing issue than
Of course.
it's an auction.
Of course.
I'll go over it quickly after we go to the other side of the dungeon. What's it showing? It's the dungeon annal, you silly fool.
The place our beckoner is likely awaiting us. The landscape within his mind's eye.
He sure is making a big to-do out of this. What do you think the old-timers' game is here?
Find out for ourselves.
Aye. Time to roll up our sleeves and step to it.
If I may
We have to
ask,
kill him.
what sort of person is this elderly gentleman you've been meeting with, Adol?
Har. He's a gentle
I
soul,
see.
yes. Because his entire mean, evil side has been excised into all of the Gregor we see.
You said he was able to use mana, right? There's a chance he could be a Norman. Something wrong, Leela?
Like, he got rid of all his evil and then it spawned all the
Not at
Gregor.
all. Let us hurry ahead.
Right.
Hurry ahead. Yeah, so let's get this crystal first.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yep, that is clear. Now what you should,
Save.
after we load in, what you should do, now, I mean, there will probably be a save. Yeah, there it is. What you should do is check the other island maps before we climb too high.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Farland time.
Farland time. Blasphemous names. Huh.
There we, sort of. No, you're done on the arc.
Yeah.
You want the island. Don't move. Just change maps. Can you zoom out? You can zoom out. There we go. Okay, that one's done.
Well,
What? Huh? But you don't have to.
I wasn't in the.
Just press X.
Well, yeah, I was doing the vision thing so I could see the chest. I don't know if it works when I'm not on the actual map.
It will. It will. Okay, so that one
Okay,
looks
so
done.
I had to do that just so I can.
Okay, that's fine. That one looks done. Yep, that was the race. So there's no items there, and coast is done.
Yep.
So okay, we have everything up to this point, and they put
Rude?
one behind
Double
the
rude.
door.
Distance might come in handy.
Oh my goodness.
I love that one.
Anyway,
Hey, you gotta
so
check.
There's a bit more to the housing issue in general.
All right.
It's like a whole other
To get a house,
dimension.
one
Whoa,
has
you
to
just
go-
ran.
Tucked
You just
away
ran
in
past
the
the save
corner
point.
of Bifrost, the edge of
I
the
say it's
world
still. I
itself.
like that. There's still
Should
save
be a
points,
good spot to
even though
rest.
you can
Yeah.
save anywhere.
I
But
just like how if I
now's
hold
a good
forward.
time to make some. Now's a good time to make some mana seeds.
So
It'll help a little bit. You can make some limitless courages, unless you want to give the Rainbow Strong Arms to Karja. They are the same thing at their base level. It's basically just normal attack or strong attack. Can make 7 of those.
Okay, so for housing first, to get a house, the house goes on auction. It will randomly go on auction at some point if it's available within 24 hours. You then have to
Okay.
camp out to then have a chance to auction and make a bid on the house, which is really stupid. And then you have to just outbid everyone there and you're good. But you have to be there at the right time at the right place.
Mm-hmm.
You get to even have a chance at getting the housing spot, and then you pay for upkeep and all that. So that's fine. However,
Don't put tier 2s in a tier 3 slot.
however,
You can go back to the tier 2s on Adol's line. So not the souls, but the stars. That might work. I think that might be a tier 2 slot. Yeah, that's a star. So you've got tier 1. Hold on, you've got tier 1s in a tier 2 slot up here. So remove those seals and put the stars in. Wait, those are fine. Those are tier 3s. Yeah, so you can put tier 2s in here. Assuming they won't hold tier 3s, actually. Are they tier 2 slots? They're tier 2 nodes. Okay, it's fine. Wait, but those can hold tier 3s. Hold up. Okay, that node is tier 2, though, so that's fine.
I'm not.
Make sure
I'm
to use a
gonna
tier
try
2.
and sit and try to get everything in.
Yeah, you do. Right there. You're hovered on it.
I have this. Cool.
Yep.
But okay, so you get a house. You own the house now, and
Okay.
I believe that I'm correct in this. If you do not log in for a period of 30 plus days or more than 30 days, then your house gets basically taken back and goes back into the auction queue.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can just lose it apparently. if you don't log in at a certain time. Or
and you don't get your money back either, do you?
No. I mean, the money in Final Fantasy 14 is pretty like you got like an insane amount of it if you even try at any point to like farm for money, or if you just do crafting. You just lose your stuff. Yeah.
But these are auctions, meaning it's not a fixed price you're losing.
Yeah. And I think there's like an upkeep too for like the house. If you don't pay the upkeep. I think there's an upkeep. I just know, I'm pretty certain that there's a if you don't log in for a period, then you can lose it. I don't know, because they just hate you. I mean, they have the housing in a like an actual like world where you can walk around. But how do I unlock?
You're locked on. I don't know.
There you go. Oh, I can lock on. You can actually walk around like the neighborhood and see everyone's houses. Like they're actually like in like plots of land that you can go visit. And see. And it's like that's really cool, I guess. Like this neighborhood has like X number of houses. This one has the same number of houses. Another one that has another number of houses. It's like, it's a neat concept, but the fact that you can just like lose your house by not logging in or doing whatever it is that you do to keep the house, it's just silly. Not only do you have this random auction that happens at a random time in a period of 24 hours, because it's like, here's the day that this house will go on auction. Good luck getting there when it actually happens. Like I've heard stories of people in like entire guilds like camping out this house. It's like you have someone from the guild sitting there in a time zone, and then once that person is like, okay, look, I can't sit here for another 4 hours. Get me someone else, and they'll just sit there. Then the next person will sit there. It's silly.
Yeah, that seems incredibly bad.
It is incredibly bad, and they just have had this system for basically the entirety of since housing has been. And it's like one of those things that never really made sense to keep the way it is, but they never bothered to update it because reasons. Probably like the same reason as to why Nintendo never, or why Pokemon Company never keeps anything. For like major systems.
No, that was explicitly stated by I forget who. To be because they wanted to make each game have something to go back to.
There's a treasure chest.
Because if they just make a better game each time, nobody will want to play the old ones.
Crazy.
Despite that,
Looks valuable.
not being couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah, it's one of those like misconceptions based off of the fact that they are working as a foundation to their like development ideology. It's like, why make the housing bad? Well, because we want it to have meaning and have value to the players, and we want you to truly like value what you have and put care and time and effort into it.
But if you do it that way,
but also we hate everyone who tries to do it. We're going to randomize the time at which this housing goes up for auction. I don't know how long auctions last. I think it's like an hour or maybe 2 hours, but it is generally like it goes on auction in like 15 days. On that 15th day, it will be a random time in that day, or something so asinine like that. It's just
so essentially they just make it's worthless.
Well, I mean,
it's completely worthless.
The house itself has no actual value to the player other than, hey, it's a cool place for you to like decorate and dedicate time and effort into, and then you can look cool because you have a nice deck house out. Yeah, it's like I think you can move like because it's not really crafting stations like in Guild Wars or anything, because you can just crafting is just anywhere you can craft at all times.
Right.
In 14?
Yeah.
How the hell do I get up there? Well, clearly I get
you'll
there.
It's for later.
I see.
No,
Yeah,
but the
so-
point is that since they make it this asinine, it just doesn't hold any value.
Yeah.
Why would anybody put in the effort?
Oh, because it's limited. So if you have one, you're special.
No, you're not.
Yeah, so there's only like a set number of neighborhoods, and so there's only like a
Okay.
there's actually like a max number of houses that exist in the entirety of the game.
Cool, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not really.
But when you do dungeons, you can unlock crafting recipes, so you can make cool housing things. What is this?
Okay. Cool. I mean, what do you mean? It's your way up.
Yeah. I was confused as to what I was gonna do. I assumed I had to grapple to it, but I guess I was out of range.
You do have to grapple to it. You well, sort of out of range. Also, you need to swing a little bit more.
Yeah, it's really incredibly stupid the way the housing system works in 14.
Yeah. No, that would just I would never interact with that. Why would anyone interact with that when you can just lose it because you don't feel like playing the game for a few weeks? What?
Yeah, it's
That's what I mean by it's worthless, by the way.
yeah.
I don't mean that it literally has no worth. I mean that it's not worth your time. Having that, you see, here's the thing. It's because I immediately recognized that if you get a house, you are not going to want to let your subscription lapse.
Yeah. I mean, people who dedicate the time to get a house, to upgrade it, and put like effort into like decking it out with all a bunch of like really cool like decorations and furniture and stuff, like they probably weren't going to let it lapse regardless.
Probably not, but there are people that would want a house but don't
Sunk cost
sub every
fallacy.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it creates a sunk cost fallacy, which makes it worthless.
So anyway, that is the incredibly really stupid housing system in 14, and then World of Warcraft just turns around and is like, hey, we're just gonna do it but better.
Oh, okay. So when you do these jumps,
Can't load the drink.
Don't-
Nice.
don't
Move.
turn your board off. Let the game turn your board off.
Okay. Was there something
I'm
up
saying
there?
that because right here, when you hit that wall, it would have disabled your board. Now, when you do it here,
Let it-
don't
Don't
just
disable the board.
let your board come down. Yep, just let your board come down on its own.
Go drink a can. Potions.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so WoW copied's a strong word. Drew inspiration seemingly because it's very similar, and they have a history of doing this. Similar
Wars.
to Guild Wars 2's Homestead.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a pattern, right? Their what was it? Garrison system was essentially the original home instance from Guild Wars, and then we all saw the
it's
most
honestly
the
kinda
most
funny.
blatant one. Dragonflight's the most
Dragonflight,
blatant
yeah,
one.
Dragonflight. Yeah.
But then the new housing system is very much like Homestead,
It's kind of silly
which-
that they just
which
this
by the
happens all
way,
the time.
this is a good thing.
No, it's good because if you see good systems, take the
Use
good
them.
systems.
Take the good system.
And don't be stupid and try to copyright them like they did for that
Yeah,
the Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah, don't copy, don't patent systems. That
Game
just means
system,
nobody's gonna use it.
Yeah,
Congratulations on stifling innovation.
Shadow
You've done it.
Mordor. Yep,
I
that's
think there's something around
the
here.
only place you'll see that really cool innovative system where enemies will like take over each other's spots in the hierarchy and move and have like political.
Anyway, whatever.
It's a cool system.
That's beside
Yeah,
the
yeah,
point.
that's
The,
the point.
the point is, if you make a housing system, let your players use it.
Use it, yeah. Let them use it.
Make tracks.
Also make it unique, like
Check
being
your
able
map.
to decorate an instance. Like that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. And guess what? It's really fun in Guild Wars.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You landed. Yeah, like you should
Valuable.
go look at the builds people make in the homesteads in Guild Wars 2. There's probably a whole subreddit for it.
Oh, probably.
Here goes.
I believe it. I mean, look, people are incredibly creative. If you've seen
Yeah.
Animal Crossing, like the newest one where you can actually like manipulate the terrain of your island,
I haven't, but I don't
Um,
doubt it.
it's sort of like, well, not voxel based, but like the island has like 3 layers, and you can add and remove actual terrain to it from it.
Okay.
So people can make very, very customized things. It's really cool to look at. But people are incredibly creative, and if you give them the opportunity to do so, then they will use it.
Yes.
Or at least most people, or some people will use it.
Okay. Now,
People
before
like
we
me
go
will
too
just
much
stick
farther,
everything in a box and call
Let's
it
catch
fine.
our breath.
before we go too much farther, just go back to the previous area real fast and just double check that you got everything. Because backtracking through this is less fun.
That's fun.
Oh, look, you missed some stuff.
That's fun.
So, good thing you got the warp point. So now we
Yep.
can just backtrack to that and then warp to the next area.
Yep.